This is Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes.
Do you ever go by like Mr. Tyson, Scientist
I go
Tyson,
by
Professor
Neil.
Tyson?
Yeah, Neil.
Just Neil.
Yeah, Neil.
Should I call you Neil?
Anything else is attempting to put pedigree up front.
Right.
On the premise that that is what should matter whether people believe what you say.
Well, what is your pedigree?
I have a PhD in astrophysics.
That.
But if I led with that now, therefore listen to me? No, no. You should embrace what I say because what I said makes sense to you. Because science is everywhere. How did the universe, our planet, how did we ourselves come to be? Science, it shouldn't even have a different name. We just call it life.
Life.
We just call it everything.
Show me science in friendship.
How about relationships? Forget just regular
How
friends.
do I answer the question I asked?
No, but let's go deeper. Let's go deep. How about a person you might fall in love with and marry? I think of dimensions, all right? When I think of a person, I think of a multi-dimensional thing.
Okay.
All right? Is the person attractive? Are they fun to be with? Are they kind? Do they have ambition? Is the chemistry right between the two of you? Okay? So each of these is a dimension. And I gather all those dimensions together and I make a hypercube. And I say, have I maximized the volume of that hypercube?
Okay.
And if any of those dimensions goes to 0, it wipes out the volume of the cube.
Really?
Yes.
You can't have some relationships that are stronger in some
Yes,
areas
yes.
and then a little weaker in another?
Yes, I didn't say strong or weak, I said 0. If anything goes to 0, the volume, then it's out.
Game out.
Because here's what happens. If you don't think about it that way, you might say, oh, I'm so attractive, and he's so gorgeous, or he's so this, and that's your only reason? And then the rest of these things rise up, and you say, oh, we're not really compatible. Well, someone else could have told you that the first day, but you were distracted by this one dimension that you focused on.
You're a real romantic. You're like a love killer.
Just because you can analyze it doesn't make it any less deep or emotional or beautiful.
So you are an astronomer. You study...
Yeah, the modern word for that would be astrophysicist, yes.
How often people say, oh, you're an astrologer, that's cool. Tell me about my sign.
So when I tell them I'm an astrophysicist, they never say astrologer.
Oh,
if you say astronomer, then they hear astrologer. And then
Okay.
they ask me to give them their horoscope.
Do you believe in astrology?
It doesn't work. Otherwise, we'd all be doing it.
It doesn't work.
No, it's a hoax perpetrated by adults on adults, left over from a day when we were completely clueless about how the universe worked. When we would sit here on Earth and we would see the sun, moon, and stars, and when they were in a particular configuration, your crops would grow.
Okay.
And our ego prevented us from thinking that it's a coincidence or that it's just timing, and we said to ourselves, the universe is making that happen for me.
Yeah.
That is human hubris at its finest.
It's funny that you see it as hubris, and I see it as the need to understand things so you don't feel so out of control.
No, it's the need to think you're in the center of the universe. The need to think that the planet cares a rat's ass about you, one of billions of people on this planet. We are all participants in the great unfolding of this cosmic story.
My head hurts. Whew, you're a wall. It's
Okay.
an impenetrable wall. Once you believe something, that's it, right? Nobody can convince you.
I don't believe anything. I just see what is, and I share that with anyone who will listen.
Anyhow, you have a show now, a talk show, where you talk to celebrities.
Yes.
It's a little bit of a play on words, right? Stars and stars.
Yes, a little double play there.
Why have stars on your show to talk about stars? Oh.
I'm going to tell you. Okay, celebrities have followings, because these are people hewn from pop culture. They have followings that'll follow them wherever they go, typically.
Yep.
Now I put them on a science show, and I find science that plugs into the scaffold that is the pop culture that they represent. And on doing so, their fan base then hears a conversation about science, thereby exposing people to science that might not have otherwise even dreamt of such a conversation. How about the people who don't know that they like science? Or better yet, the people who are sure they don't like science? How does any science ever reach them?
But why is it important to you that it does? What do you care?
You're right. So I'd rather just stay home. So I do this because it is asked of me. I'm a servant of the public's appetite for curiosity, and in particular, the public's appetite for the universe. I'm a servant of that. And in the morning, if the phone doesn't ring, that's a great day because I can stay home and get some work done. Most of the time you ever see me on TV, I'm not hawking a book or a project. It's because something happened in the universe. It was an eclipse, the moon did something, we discovered a black hole. So I got a phone call from Colbert's people a couple of nights ago.
Neil deGrasse Tyson!
You haven't been on a while, anything we can talk about? We can talk about the moon. I said, fine. And there's usually something else that can slip in there that can be marketed.
Like my book's coming out, and it's out in September, and you got to read it, and I got this show on NatGeo.
I've had people ask me, I've seen you on TV so much, who's your publicist? And I say, my publicist is the universe itself.
Very hard to beat that.